Stink Kusai.
I'm Jukebox Hero.
I'm Scufflewick, and I'm the pretty one.
Yeah, no, I've been out for anybody listening, I've been out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, Alberta, in the middle of a field for 3 weeks. I'll tell you which ones I've heard of that I kind of already knew before E3 were going to come out. God of War.
Have we started?
Yeah.
We didn't do introductions.
Oh, well, fuck it. Let's do the introductions then.
And don't we do other stuff before we go to the main topic?
Yes. You want to do it? Missus? You want to do it?
Good job following your own.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
schedule.
I am sunbaked for the last 3 weeks. Give me a small break, okay? I've been
That's
gone.
okay. The release schedule got fucked up too.
Yeah. Okay, so
Start with your format. Oh my god.
hello. This is the Stink Kusai,
I'm
I'm the-
Jukebox Hero.
and who do we have?
I'm the missus.
And today, we're probably gonna not be discussing too many movies because I've been in the middle of a goddamn field.
I watch movies.
Oh, the missus has watched movies. What about you there, Jukebox?
I've watched one last night.
There you go. I have played no fucking video games for the last 3 weeks. And I've barely heard any news because no internet signal or cell signal where I was.
I have no.
So today we're going to be talking about E3 as our main topic too. So just so everybody knows. Just don't expect a lot from me. Okay, first off, let's hear the movies that the missus has been watching while I've been gone.
All of them.
I finished the Star Wars series, and including number 7. It was okay. Not like the biggest fan of Star Wars, but it was okay. It was what I expected.
How'd you like episode 3?
It was okay.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
what I expected.
What'd you think of Jar Jar Binks?
Yeah, he's not as annoying as you seem to think.
You mean as like a whole fandom thinks?
Whole fandom has a weird thing. Like, episodes 1, 2, and 3 aren't that bad. Jar Jar Binks is not that annoying, and I've said this exact same thing for the past 2 or 3 podcasts.
Well,
Yeah, you should have heard Scufflewick going on and on about like what order to watch him in. The fandom's a little fucked up.
okay. The recommended is 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3.
Not a cool.
That is the
No.
order you watch them in.
That is the order I did watch.
Anybody who says different isn't a fan of Star Wars. That is a shot at Scufflewick.
Yes.
He's not going to defend himself because he's too lazy.
And then after that, you
Ooh,
watch
brutal.
the 2 animated series, and there you go.
No.
Because that's all canon.
You go chronological by release date.
So 4, 5,
Or at
6,
least-
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I do for like everything.
I mean, the way
That's
it's
like-
intended.
Yeah, that's like last time when I was last podcast, my other podcast, which we recorded last night. Kelrick's King was telling me not to bother with the first Monster Hunter game because apparently most
Why
people
not?
think it's pretty shit. And I'm like,
didn't think
yeah,
it
I
was
guess
shit.
I'm starting with a shit game then.
I didn't think it was shit.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen it yet, so cross that bridge when we get there. Did you see? You watched episode 7 on Netflix. Was that your first time watching it?
Yeah.
How bad did the parallels bug you?
They didn't.
Why would the parallels
Oh.
bug you?
Oh, it bugged me so much because like I'm watching it, I'm like, this is literally the exact same thing I've already seen with different characters and a
That-
bit different situations.
That's the point.
I know, but like,
It's purposely written that way. On purpose.
I know. But it felt like they were catering too much to the fandom.
A little bit with the 7, they were, but that's the point. Like, if you watch 1, 2, and 3, they are paralleling 4, 5, and 6. 7, 8, and 9 will be paralleling both 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And actually, that's where Jar Jar Binks is coming. Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be the parallel for Yoda, but George Lucas chickened out and rewrote 2 and 3.
Oh. Oh well. What else have you watched?
I watched a documentary last night called The Last Train Home, and it was really annoying, and the teenage daughter I kind of wanted to hit because she was just so stupid. So, yeah.
What's it about?
In China, they have like the migrant workers who come, usually high school dropouts and stuff, come from like small villages to work in the factories in the cities, and then they get like they try to go home for the Chinese New Year, but they have to take the train, and like it's always really difficult to get on the train, and then the daughter's like, oh, I'm gonna drop out of high school too, and the parents are like, are you fucking kidding me? And then yeah,
Yerp.
stay in school.
So what about you, Jukebox?
Hit them books. Last night I watched The Fifth Element with Kari.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
fun.
hadn't seen it before, and back in like 2005, that was my favorite movie until The Hitchhikers came out.
Did she like it?
Yeah, she dug it.
Yeah.
The character that Chris Tucker plays, the really annoying pop guy that runs the radio show, that's like her favorite character of all time now. Because Chris Tucker is annoying as fuck, so he owns that role.
So which movie was this again? Just so
The Fifth Element. It's with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, no.
And it's the perfect girl, the fifth element, whatever, they have to save the world.
So yeah,
Collect
why
the stones.
like you find Chris Tucker annoying?
Have you watched the movie?
Yeah, I've watched all Chris Tucker's movies.
I don't know, it's just that super loud kind of funniest man in the room, listen to me kind of character that he always plays in movies.
My favorite scene from that movie is the opera scene.
Yeah, same. That weird, like, I don't even know, it's kind of like electronica mixed with opera. I dug it.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good, and that actually, I believe, might have won them awards. So
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, rewatching it, because I haven't seen it for several years.
it holds up.
It does hold up, but you can see, like, the obviousness of, like, the archetypes they're trying to work with.
Bruce Willis is an
Just
archetype.
Sure.
No.
But, like, the good versus the evil, it's, like, spelled out for you. There's no subtlety. It's like, this is the story. You already know it in the first minute.
I can't remember. Was The Fifth Element based on a book?
It could have been. I don't know.
I think it might have been. Holy shit! I have too much stuff on my.
Nice picture.
Yeah, if you don't know, I sometimes participate in the Photoshop battles on Reddit. And that was the last one I did before I left.
Wow. How coincidental.
Yeah, they're like, here's a mackerel. Photoshop it. And yeah, I had to do The Fifth Element for that one.
He put a fish head on top of the blue girl's head. Or as the blue girl's head.
Yep. And it even matches the color.
Yeah. Okay, quick rating. I give it a 4 out of 5. I recommend you watch it.
Yes. Now, I can't
Netflix and chill. It's on Netflix.
I was wrong. I can't say I haven't watched a movie while I was out there in the field. I had a trailer. Yeah, I roughed it, guys. I roughed it. I was in a trailer. The second last night we were out in the field, everybody who was too so let's say hungover even at 8 o'clock at night from the night before. They all had stayed, my whole group except for me, because I was like, fuck that shit. Stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning drinking 8 liters of wine.
Good job.
Yeah, so they were pretty hungover.
What else are you going to do in the middle of bumfuck nowhere?
Pretty much. So the next night they were like, yeah, we don't want to do that again. Maybe a beer. So what we ended up doing is going into my trailer and watching Tangled while each having a beer and eating ravioli.
Nice.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Tangled, fucking awesome movie.
Where'd you get Tangled from?
I have it. I own it.
Since when?
It's like that was like this first movie we watched when dating. I brought you over to my house and we watched Tangled.
I was unaware that we own it.
Yeah, we do.
It's been hiding.
I've had it for 7 years on DVD. I've literally watched it near you more than once.
I mean, we have it
I can't believe
recorded on
it's
the
been
TV
7.
and on Netflix.
Yeah, it's been 7 years. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie. And you want to hear a weird fact about it? The intro to that movie, they redid that and did basic animation for it a few times before they finally got it. Basically got simpler, and they changed a few things. And yeah, and originally the first few times it was voiced over by a woman, not the character Flynn Rider. So, and it was
I don't remember the intro.
The intro. Okay, so if you guys have ever watched the movie, it's basically a retelling of Rapunzel. All right, Rapunzel. Yeah. So instead of that, what happens is this. I guess they start off by telling, oh, the sun, and let a drop of sun rays hit the earth, and it giving a gift of some sort. And essentially, it grew a flower, and this evil woman named Mother Gothel finds it and figures out if she sings this song to it, it will heal her and turn her young again.
Oh fuck! Now I remember it.
Yeah, and
yeah.
So it changed a few. The original concept for it was, instead of her hiding it underneath this thing and sneaking out there for several hundred years, she actually built a house around it, and the king came to beg her to use the flower on his wife. And she refused, being selfish, and he stole it and then used it on his wife. And then she stole the baby from him. But yeah, that was the original concept, and eventually morphed into nobody knew about Mother Gothel, and it was just on a hillside, and she was putting a basket over top of it. And when they came searching for it, because the queen was sick while pregnant with the princess, she accidentally didn't. She knocked it over as she ran away, trying to hide it, and they found it. And then she tried cutting the hair off of the kid, but it didn't work, and then took the kid, and then raised her as her own. And this was all done by voiced over by Flynn Rider in the end game. But yeah, no, I thought it was weird. They did that like a good 6 times before they landed on what they really wanted. So
yeah. Well, I mean, gotta get the intro perfect, or else people ain't gonna stick.
Oh yeah, people would have fallen asleep in the intro if they had kept the original. It was long. It was like a good 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. So, yeah, this is a little boring. But no, at the end it turned good, and a few of my classmates, it was their first time watching Tangled. One guy who honestly doesn't watch much movies, even with his 2-year-old, said he'd probably end up watching it again. He liked it.
Yeah,
though these
I
are
remember it being a good movie.
Though this is a bunch of archaeology students. They packed the historical inaccuracies in that film the whole time. Guys, is this Rome or is this Europe? Oh, is this the 18th century or the 15th century? This is before Disney really gave a flying two shits. This is the last movie they didn't really give a flying two shits about being accurate. And then they came out with Frozen, and they're like, okay, yes, there's magic, but we have to have the costumes historically accurate. So, and then there was Moana. which they kept pretty on the ball. So.
Oh, Mrs. You were saying that Moana comes out on Netflix on the 17th?
I think it's the 20th.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because we were looking for it yesterday and we didn't find it.
Yeah, no, I think it's on the 20th.
Got it.
So, that's my movie. Now let's hear what games you guys have played.
I'll go real fast. It's been Duel Links, and if you really want to hear me talk about it, go watch or listen to Infinity Games Podcast episode 11, because we talk about it for half an hour.
Okay. That's good. What about you, Mrs.?
Pokemon Go.
And you just refer back to whichever podcast we talked about Pokemon Go to.
Well, I hatched a Larvitar, and I got a bunch of, like, those, like, I got the upgrade and the metal coat.
Nice.
And stuff like that. And they have an event going on right now, so I've been getting a lot of Pokemon and evolving and stuff.
Yeah, she's been getting super lucky. We went into the city to meet up with her yesterday.
Yeah.
And I caught my first Magmar.
Nice.
I caught my first Magmar too. Not yesterday.
We got back here and we went to Dollarama, and just outside of Dollarama there was a Lapras. Super randomly.
Nice.
It really disappointed me though for like one reason.
Didn't catch it?
I caught it. Mine was only 900 and something, but like I hatched a Lapras about 3 weeks ago. It is so weak that the Lapras that my girlfriend caught, who is like 5 levels lower than me, was stronger than the one I hatched.
Yeah, I have
like,
a
you know
really
when you
shitty
power up
Lapras too.
You know when you power up the CP?
Yeah.
It still has half of that bar to fill up. And I hatched that thing. That's kind of sad.
Sounds like you guys had fun. Is that everything you want to say about Pokemon Go?
My Lapras is only like 557.
Yeah, but when did you get it?
Oh, like a while ago.
Yeah.
So, you guys have been playing Pokemon Go and Duel Links. I've been playing a game called Shovel Bumming. You guys like to hear about shovel bumming? Your teacher hands.
Are we allowed to say no?
Yes, but I'm still going to tell you. And I got to play the expansion of the Pit of Despair. Basically, we didn't have video games. They handed us trowels, yes, a gardening a masonry tool, and said dig a meter by a meter by a meter deep hole. 5 centimeters at a time. Well, not really 5 centimeters. Yep. More like a centimeter, and then you had to do a form every 5 centimeters.
You remember the movie Holes?
Yeah.
Like that, but less fun.
Yeah, we didn't get to use shovels. We got to use, like, 3-inch trowels. And the reason why we call it the Pit of Despair expansion is because my group got what we all jokingly called the Pit of Despair. It had 2 bones in it and small chunks of ceramic for 5 units. So we're talking 5 1 meter by 1 meter deep holes all together, and that's all we found. That's it.
Damn.
So, and we got everybody else. Like, one girl found so many artifacts in their area where they were digging their units that she has her own box full of it. Like, we're talking like a big ass box full of artifacts.
Someone got lucky.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing for 3 weeks.
Also in games, I totally just beat my highest score for that Space Corgi game.
Hey,
nice.
What you at now?
38.
Oh my god. Nice.
Ooh. Super hard.
Oh, guess what? You know what I did for fun on my spare time when we weren't digging?
Slept.
Deer.
I stalked deer. I tracked deer. There's a shit ton of deer in that area. I found deer, and I got fucking goddamn close too.
Nice.
Closest I got was probably 30 meters or less before the deer. I accidentally wasn't paying attention to my left side as I came along a bush, and my shirt caught on the bush. It made a sound, and the deer pretend charged me. Like, you know, they sometimes do that jump back at you and then it ran off making that really weird sound they do when they're scared shitless. So
tell them about that time that you growled at the deer.
Oh yeah. See, I can do deer calls. I'm not horrible at it, but I have no clue what the deer calls mean. Right? So I was sitting. I went to go call your sister, the missus here, while I was there, and the only place where we got cell signal, which was about 2 kilometers away from the campsite, up a hill. And while I was sitting there, there was deer in the area. There was 4 antelope and a few white-tailed deer in the area, and a buck came up behind me, probably less than 100 meters away, and I turned around and I saw it, and it started doing that growling. I guess it's growling that they do. It's kind of a raspy, like a 60-pack-a-day smoker wheezing at you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it meant, and I'm like, oh, he's making a call. Maybe I'll try doing it back. So I started doing the call back, and he kind of like looked at me, stopped doing it, looked at me, and then ran away. Yeah. I told my students about that. He's like, so you were mocking a pissed off deer? I kind of guess that is. Yeah, to that deer, I'm like, it's sitting there growling at me, basically telling me to fuck off, and I just turn around and start trying to somewhat growl back at it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but I tracked that, and I also found a coyote in the campground as well. It growled at me, and that one was noticeable. Couldn't see it. It was hiding in a bush, laying down, as far as I could tell. But I couldn't quite see it, and it was just growling at me, so I figured I'd just leave it alone.
Oh, you didn't want to growl back at it?
What?
You didn't want to growl back at it?
No, I was trying to get close to the deer, and I think it was also tracking the deer.
No, it's mine.
I just want a picture of it, but my phone died. Fuck off. Yeah, the first time I found it, I got within 30 meters of it, lifted my phone, it ran away. Second time I tracked it, I went downwind from it, so it couldn't smell me. I let it run off for a little bit, and then I tracked it, found it, went to go take the photo. Then my phone died, and then I tried to get a little closer so I could at least say I got closer to the deer, and then my shirt caught. And then I found it a third time after that, but it just ran when it saw me. Didn't get all pissed off and scared. So, in all fairness, I was trying to lead it out. I was trying to lead it out of the campground as well. So, it kind of spooked when I first spooked it. It ran further into the campground and found itself in between a whole bunch of people in the bush. There's the way this campground is. It's like there's this huge treat area, and everybody's camping around it. So, yeah, it kind of got itself stuck there and was kind of running back and forth and getting spooked by people, and nobody noticed. I'm like, did you guys not see the deer? They're like, no. I'm like, yeah, it came pretty close to you guys. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like, if you had looked off in the bushes, you would have seen a deer.
Ding dongs.
In other really important breaking news, I just beat my score on Space Corgi again. I'm at 42 now.
Yeah.
So,
record. Okay, if that's anything like Flappy Bird, my high score in Flappy Bird was like 10.
I'm pretty sure it is Flappy Bird, but it's got a Corgi with a Spamus helmet.
Yeah.
So,
it's much cuter.
It is.
Scufflework's not here today, as everybody knows. So we can't have his talk, but whatever we're gonna call it. But you know what? I'm gonna teach you guys about trowel use in archaeology.
No.
Oh God.
So
the groaning is real.
So really, yeah. If you guys don't know, trowels were originally used for masonry, but have been, used for other things, including gardening. We have specifically built ones for us now, and are sharpened to like a knife edge. You want to know why? To cut through roots. So, not even joking. We had to sharpen our trowels at least like 6 times a day. And you lightly scrape it across the ground. You can't dig into the dirt. You lightly put it on the dirt and pull back. And that is the proper troweling technique for digging in the dirt as an archaeologist. That concludes the trowel talk. Now on to the main topic for today.
Wait, we didn't do news.
Oh, yes. Forgive my sunburnt bum self.
Do. Jukebox Heroes Tech Talk. Literally 2 seconds. The fucking Intel i9 leaks are out.
Ooh.
Go speculate. Onwards to news.
So, what kind of... Like I said, you guys, forgive me. I really am still a little bit dazed from being out in the sun for 3 weeks. What news are we talking about?
Hit me, missus. What do you got?
I found this article, but I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay. So hackers have apparently been using e-cigarettes to transfer malware.
How the fuck do you transfer malware using e-cigarettes?
Well, e-cigarettes have the rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and it plugs into a cable or connects directly to the USB port. So that's what they've been doing.
Oh, they're modding them.
Some code in there.
Yeah. Either by interfering with the network traffic or fooling the machine to think that the vape is a keyboard or a mouse.
Interesting.
Wow. That's pretty
ingenious, actually.
Sucks for those people, I guess.
Ooh.
I mean, like, the WannaCry malware is like 100 times stronger than this stuff. Because, obviously, you can't put much on that little...
You can just basically be an asshole.
Yeah. You can make your computer do commands and stuff with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, but yet again, this just shows that you have to be careful at all times with your computers.
Yeah. Well, it makes me question which ones have this stuff installed on it. Like, I imagine if you're some cheap ass and you're trying to like buy a bootleg vape or something from like China, that or Russia or anything like that, you're more likely than if you actually go to a vape shop. Right?
That even going to a vape
Makes
shop
sense.
wouldn't necessarily, but it would be less likely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're at a vape shop and they have whatever brand name that makes e-cigs, I mean, it's a lot more likely that if they got that from that brand maker, it's going to come directly from the factory. If you're buying online, you have no clue where it came from. It's far more likely that it could be messed with.
Yeah, they said the culprit is most likely a really shady Chinese company.
Yeah. I mean, that stuff kind of happens all the time with bootleg games, too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So we're talking about geek news. I'm guessing from we're talking about.
Obviously.
So I have something, and I'm coming out of my daze a little bit here, but I have some bad news if you haven't heard it yet. Earlier this June, Adam West passed away. If none of you know who Adam West is, he is, for some of us, the original live-action Batman, or as everybody likes to call him, Batman 66. Passed away of, I believe, was it leukemia, from what I heard, at the age of 83?
I thought it was 88.
Either way,
maybe I heard wrong.
I think it was 88.
I'm going to point out I'm getting my news while in the middle of a goddamn field from other students.
Yeah.
So,
the game of telephone doesn't always work well.
No. Especially not when you're sitting above in the middle of a field getting sunbaked all day and dehydrated. By the way, my team's name, yes, our group said teams, was called Team No Pee. Because we kept on forgetting to drink water, and because if you don't drink water, you don't pee, so our TA started calling us Team No Pee.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, one other team was called Tebby Times.
What?
Tebby Times.
Why?
Because that's the nick. Tebby is, I believe, one of the last names of one of the students.
Oh.
Or a company they work for or something like that. But yeah, so they did that. But yeah, we all heard about that, and I don't know what for you guys, but hearing that Adam West died hits home because that's the original Batman for me.
Yeah.
And for anybody who doesn't know me, I, for several months as a small child, refused to take off my Batman costume, which was modeled after Adam West's costume.
Oh God, you're one of those.
Yeah. So there are people in my town that know me specifically as Batman. Not even joking about that. There are people that used to be my parents' customers at their local store that they owned, and they knew me as a small child as Batman.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. Recently, there was a Batman 66 pinball that came out. And I don't know if this will kind of stifle any future releases.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Because Burt Ward's still around, and that's Robin.
Right. What else did Adam West do?
Ooh, he recently did a cartoon animation Batman where him and Burt Ward did the voices again of Batman and Robin.
I know he also voiced himself on Family Guy.
Yes. He was Mayor Adam West.
Yes.
He was awesome and hilarious.
Yeah, in other death news, I guess, the guy who created Hawaiian Pizza died.
Yeah.
He was a Canadian.
God damn it. No,
Literally like the same day, so they were just kind of like going back and forth about this stuff on the radio.
And that's my favorite goddamn pizza, too.
Oh, I fucking hate it.
I love Hawaii. That's my favorite goddamn pizza. That man was an effing genius. Putting sweet.
And you say so.
Hey. I love pineapple.
And other less
I love pineapple too,
news,
but I can't stand cooked pineapple.
In other less depressing news, Beyonce gave birth.
Who gives a fuck about Beyonce?
Was it twins?
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk about the Queen Bee like that.
Yeah.
Are they gonna call them little bees?
Probably.
If they do, it started here.
Copied the idea from a couple nerds.
We were the original. 11:54, June 18th.
Here we go.
AM.
Well, obviously, we're talking military time. The only
Yes.
that's the only way I do
Maybe.
time.
Not me.
God, what's
So-
wrong with people? Why AM and PM? I fucking hate the idea of AM and PM.
Do you guys have any other news?
9, but other than E3, I need to get caught up here.
That was my news, because that's all I've been paying attention to for the week that it was happening.
Yeah, and that is our main topic for today. What happened at E3 2017?
2017. Okay, so, like I was telling you earlier, the general consensus is Nintendo won. Do you want to know why?
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC?
No.
Splatoon 2?
I mean, people want that, but we already knew that. Nope.
Super Mario
No.
Odyssey.
Partially.
Oh, I know. And it's something, and I didn't even have to hear about E3 about this. Fuck, it spread around the campground as quickly as it came out, and this is how I heard about it. But is it a Pokemon RPG on the Switch?
That's one of them.
I don't know what to do right now.
They dropped two things. It was Metroid Prime 4 and a core RPG Pokemon game on the Switch.
My patient just died again.
Oh boy. Is this in game or real life?
In game.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Clarify first before you say something like that.
Searching for.
Anyway, so yes, and this Pokemon RPG.
Okay, so these two announcements, they're so early in development, they literally have nothing to show for them. No title, no nothing.
You mean other than untitled Pokemon RPG title?
Pretty much. So, like, both of these games are at least a year out. And, I mean, they pretty much just had to mention them. Each one of those announcements took up maybe 30 seconds of their presentation. And everyone lost their fucking shit.
Well, no shit. People have been begging for a Pokemon RPG for, like, years.
Yeah. Well, I've been hearing people freaking out about Metroid Prime 4 or even more than that. Well, because they've wanted a good Metroid game since 2007 when Prime came out.
Can I tell you something about this announcement for the Pokemon that annoyed me? I could have strangled a bitch. So it's like, oh my god, they just announced the first Pokemon game on a console. I turned around and I bit my tongue. I'm like, oh!
An idiot.
It's like, now I'm going to get a Switch. I'm like,
You know, I kind of get where they're coming from. They probably just worded it horribly, because what they mean is like main series title, because it's always been handheld. And yeah. I think the only reason why they would develop it for the Switch is because it is still portable.
I get that, but I'm also going to point out, we do have Pokemon console where there's like, what is that? Hello Pikachu.
Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Puzzle League.
That phone.
Yeah, hold on a second. Go. Mom's running for it. Yeah, so we've had plenty of console releases, but the main, it's in the wording. He said core, he said RPG, and I can't remember if he said main. But core and RPG kind of implies that it would be like a Pokemon Stars or a Pokemon 8th generation. And my two predictions, because there's literally no information about this, is it's either going to be Gen 8/Stars, or it's going to be a mystery dungeon game. Because I don't know how loosely they'll use core, but the mystery dungeon games are also Pokemon RPGs.
I know, but I'm kind of hoping they basically just take Pokemon, which people like the main game, and make it like Skyrim.
Oh god. I have hopes for that too. Everyone's wanted like an MMO Pokemon game. But even from the Pokemon company themselves, when Pokemon Go came out, they're like, this is the closest you're ever going to get to that.
They say that, but then Pokemon Go blew right the fuck up, and they realized, oh shit, money.
Well, they knew it was going to make money, not as much as it did, but I think if they were to backpedal that soon, it would actually piss off quite a few fans, and then they'd immediately forget because it was an MMO, and they'd be like, yes! So yeah, that's pretty much why Nintendo won E3. 2 games that don't even have titles. And also Mario. It's kind of the same way that PS4 won the console wars before they were even released. Because if you remember how much Microsoft was fucking up with like their DRM, and it's not backwards compatible, and you know, here's our shitty launch lineup or whatever. And then PS4, the Sony presentation, they pretty much came out and was like, hey, see this disc? You can share it with your friends. And then they immediately got fucking standing ovation. Everyone went and pre-ordered a PS4. It's like, it wasn't what they did, it's what they didn't do. What Nintendo didn't do is not announce anything good.
There's a couple of games that I'm looking forward to. For one, there's a game that comes out this August that's gonna be good, but there's a trailer that came out, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes. I know nothing of this game.
It's a good game. Plus, there's a few weird ones that come out. Like there's a Way Out, which I'm actually looking forward to. You know what that's about?
Nope.
two guys break out of try to break out of a prison in like I think like the 1970s or 60s.
I do know this one. Never mind.
It's a co-op game and it looks sweet.
I can dig.
There's a zombie game for the coming out for the PlayStation this summer, which I'm really looking forward to. And it's not The Last of Us anymore. It's not The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh my god. Okay, so fucking Sony. It's their presentation. They're hyping up the audience. It's like new IP, new game, newly in development, PlayStation only. And everyone's just like, each time they say that, their fucking butthole puckers a little bit more. And they're all like, Last of Us 2, Last of Us 2, Last of Us 2, Last of Us 2. Spider-Man.
God,
I can't lie. The Spider-Man game looks really fun, but that is not what anyone was expecting.
Nope.
They like blue-balled the entire audience.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah. Something about the Spider-Man, the trailer, is at the end, there's two kids, and they're like, oh, fuck, I can't remember his name. It's like, hey, insert name, come on. And it's the same name as Ultimate Spider-Man.
Miles Morales.
Yeah, it's like, come on, Miles. So, little hint, either it's an Easter egg, or there's going to be Ultimate Spider-Man in the new Spider-Man game.
Oh, I'm hope. See, that would be an interesting direction.
I like Ultimate Spider-Man.
But do you know how Miles Morales became Spider-Man? After Peter Parker dies.
Yeah.
The Green Goblin straight up murders Spider-Man. Like in gory fucking awesome detail art in the comic book.
Cool. See, I can't remember Ultimate Spider-Man because I read that from the library back when I was like 8. But yeah, a new Spider-Man game's a thing.
And so is The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah. Just wasn't talked about.
No, but the trailer is pretty neat.
Yeah. When we were recording yesterday for Infinity Games, Kelrix brought up Kingdom Hearts 3, because that was one of his predictions, is if they talked about that, they weren't going to say anything about Final Fantasy 7, and he was right. So they showed a gameplay trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, and then they didn't say anything about Final Fantasy.
They didn't say anything about Final Fantasy?
Yeah, which really surprised me, because Final Fantasy 7 was like last year's hype. You think they'd have a little more to show for it, right?
Yeah. Just saw this, and I'm surprised that they're coming out with another one. Crackdown 3?
Yep.
Fuck, I remember getting that as a free game with Halo 3.
Yeah,
Crackdown
I've
2.
never played Crackdown.
I never got the appeal to it, and I also thought it was like one of those shitty games that people just were like, yeah, we didn't have a good game out at the time, so we'll just play it.
I mean, it has its audience.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised.
I'm not that... Like, it sold well enough for them to justify a third one as a cash grab, even.
Do you know who is in the trailer, though?
No. Terry Crews?
Terry Crews, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Terry Crews.
Fuck, he's awesome.
Terry Crews is great. Have you guys seen the Jay's 2 Cents Terry Crews PC build?
No.
Okay, so Jay's 2 Cents, really famous tech tuber on YouTube. He created a custom PC for Terry Crews and unveiled it to Terry Crews, like live on film and all that other stuff. And it is based around Old Spice Bear Glove. So it's like custom colored, like the water pump, I think, is like it's a stick of the deodorant. And the case is like all made of see-through glass and stuff. And You should go watch the video. It's really pretty.
Nice.
And like they unveil it, and Terry Crews is kind of like freaking out, like, "Oh my god, it's so beautiful!" And then they're punking him. They're like, "Oh, we didn't get the reaction. The thing didn't film because they're using that new red camera, that 8K camera."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, guys, it's okay. This happens. I'm an actor. I act. I can do this again. Don't worry." And then they're like, "No, we're punking you." And he's like, "God damn it! Here I am." Like, "No, it's okay. I can live a lie." It's funny.
Oh yeah, I can see his face in the picture. He looks like he's fucking happy.
Oh yeah, I mean that thing was several months in the making.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So, one of the things that excites me the most that's coming out of Sony's conference is Shadow of the Colossus remake. And I think it's in 4K. How do you feel about them remaking that game?
Okay, so like I liked the game. It was for the console it came out on, the graphics were
PS2?
beautiful. Yeah, PS2. Yeah. I would have more liked to see Shadow of the Colossus 2.
Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted that, but I thought Shadow of the Colossus was, I mean, not totally closed end, but you know how Eco and Shadow of the Colossus kind of, they're kind of like in the same place. I feel if they made a new one, it would be something different again, but like the same setting or something.
Yeah.
One of my predictions is that we'd hear something from Team Eco, and Shadow of the Colossus remake is close enough.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to?
What's that?
Bethesda's announcements for E3. All
Bethesda?
except for one, Bethesda.
Which one?
I'm looking forward to Wolfenstein 2, Skyrim for Nintendo Switch, Quake Champions, and these two I really want. Doom VR, and oh dear God, Fallout 4 VR. The one I'm not looking forward to is The Evil Within 2.
Yeah, that was whatever.
I haven't played it. What put me off of it, and like it's like I'm playing a game on a fairly new console. Why are the graphics for this, just when I look at the back of the case, shitty as fuck? I don't care if this is a story-driven fucking game. If The Walking Dead can do a fucking phone video game with better graphics than this, you can fucking well do.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I like Doom VR. It's like, wow, it feels like I'm really in hell.
Yeah.
Exactly what everyone wants.
Well, I just can't wait to get my VR. I am saving up for still saving up to get the Vive, and the first game I want to play for with it, like I'm gonna specifically want to buy, is Fallout 4 VR.
Cool.
The missus is giving me a look. She also realized.
Understandably.
Hey, come on! Look at it from my point of view. I'm stuck in Canada, which, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I love the winter, but every once in a while, it'd be nice to walk around and pretend it's not winter anymore. And what better place to do that in the post-apocalyptic US of Fallout 4? In Chicago, of no places.
I mean, maybe. I feel like there's probably like a virtual beach simulator somewhere out there on Steam.
But come on, I also get to shoot mutants. Get to take out some anger as well. And who doesn't want to actually lift their wrist and look at a VR, at a Pit-Boy in VR? There's a
I have
bunch.
zero fucks to give about Fallout.
There's one game I'm actually, again, I own it. I own all of them. But I'm still surprised that they're coming out with it. Another one is Metro Exodus. The newest Metro game.
The newest Let's Burn Your Hardware.
Yeah.
Game.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure Last Light is one of the most graphics heavy games on PC when it came out.
It is.
If I remember, you had to have, I don't know what was out at the time, like 2 980s in SLI just to run it at Ultra.
Here's a question. I just saw this. This was news before E3, but did they release any more news about Days Gone By and Death Stranding?
I have no clue.
Days Gone By, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, is it the zombie game I was thinking of? And it's
I don't know. Do Control F on that list I gave you, because I didn't watch all of the presentations this year.
Yeah, it's there. But there's no...
Oh, it must have said something.
Well, if you don't know what Days Gone By is, it's basically a zombie game where you have to run away from a horde of zombies. It's really awesome from the looks of it. It looks like it'd be fun. But the world is completely destructible, and you can like knock like piles of 2x4s and shit in front of the zombies and crap and all sorts of shit.
Kelrix told me about that one, and I kind of compared it to Serious Sam.
And that's why I'm looking for it.
Yeah. The
or Days Gone, I guess it's called.
Days Gone.
Yeah. But it's supposed to be coming out this summer.
Nice. I keep forgetting, but I just remembered because I mentioned it at the start. Monster Hunter, they fixed it.
They did?
So, yeah, because Monster Hunter is not necessarily level-based, but it's like, here's your mission, go destroy this monster, come back, get your loot, go out, destroy this monster, which, for that kind of game, is pretty fucking lame. Yeah. So, Monster Hunter World is open world.
Well, that'd be fun.
So, they fixed the one thing that was stupid about Monster Hunter.
Ooh.
What else you seeing?
Nothing much. I'm just trying to look up more information about some of the games. I want to see if there's any new news about Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Come on, it's basically being made by the people that were supposed to do PT. Why are you shaking your head?
I'm not.
Why are you giving me this look?
I'm looking at you.
You also shook your head quite a bit when I said Death Stranding. Like disapprovingly looking at me. Oh.
More scary shit. Oh?
So, some people are saying it wasn't mentioned at E3, but some people are saying it was? That's confusing.
Well, it probably wasn't mentioned in the actual conference. It was probably after. That reminds me. Fuck, I keep forgetting things. So, Nintendo, after their conference, they went to the Treehouse, which is kind of their live on-the-floor stuff. They unveiled 2 more games that I'm actually excited about. Like, I may actually get them. So, they remade Metroid 2 for the 3DS. That's the one that was on Game Boy. And they remade Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga, which is my absolute favorite game on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
Should be fun.
And I was telling Kelrix this recently, the completionist who plays games till they're 100% complete, reviews them, and gives it a rating. Fuck it, buy it, play it, complete it, or something like that. And he completed the game, but I was a little disappointed, and so was Kelrix, because Kelrix knows that I also 100%ed that game, but I went all fucking in to the point where every single item is maxed out. Like, I can't get any more of that item. My coins are maxed out, my level is maxed out, my stats are maxed out. Like, I went fucking hard.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, I completed the game and got all the beans.
Just got all the beans?
Yeah. But no, it's a fucking excellent game, and I consider it a hidden gem, because no one knows about it, even if they know of the Mario and Luigi series. Because most people kind of jumped on that once it was already on like the third game.
What? Oh, I'm just reading some of the more of the games that are coming out, and I'm just like, again, like it's like something that's happening to video games that's actually has been happening to movies for a while. Is they're basically redoing and rehashing older games because they're running out of fucking ideas.
Yeah.
So there's like
it's already been happening for a while, but you also got to remember, with the exception of Nintendo, this is a mid-console generation E3 for the other two, which means they're not hyping up their best shit right now. They're just kind of continuing on with whatever you expect from the console. I
know, but still, like Gran Turismo Sport and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy and God of War.
Forza 7.
I also knew about God of War coming out. It's gonna be, he has a son now.
Yeah.
Which perplexes me concerning the original idea about how he became the God of War.
You're gone, you cut out.
Hello?
Hi.
Is it me you're looking for?
Hello?
But yeah, no, he became the God of War after he killed his own family.
Yeah, and he wears their ashes.
Yeah, so like
Kelrick's had a good theory about this, and I only watched the trailer, but it's pretty much the kid can speak to some Norse god, but Kratos can't understand him. So he thinks that Kratos like stole this kid, or this kid was cast away by a Norse god or something. So it's not actually his kid, it's like an adoptive / kidnapped kid.
That's a possibility. He Kratos is a bit of a fucker. An asshole.
Yeah. I like his beard.
Yeah, he has a beard now. It's like, guys, how do we make a guy who's essentially became immortal seem different after fucking four games? Give him a beard!
Give him some eye wrinkles and a beard.
Yeah. And toss a companion in there of sorts. Done. New look.
Yep.
I'll still play it, but fuck them for doing that.
How do you feel about the what the fuck did they call it? The Xbox One X. It was Project Scorpio. It's got a release date and a price now.
What was Project Scorpio again? I'm trying to remember.
It's pretty much the Xbox One's PlayStation 4 Pro. It's pretty much just 4K.
The Xbox One S? Or whatever they're calling it? Or yeah, Project Scorpio.
Isn't the One S already out? Project Scorpio is One X or something, and it has 4K. That's like the big draw.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really give a flying two shits if it's 4K yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was kind of ridiculous. I had like a 20-minute conversation with Calrix about this, and it was pretty much the only market for this is people who don't already own an Xbox One, or people who have a 4K TV and really, really want to have something for it.
Yeah, like
because they don't even have that many games in 4K yet. Yeah. And if you already own an Xbox One, even if you trade that thing in, you're still gonna have to pay like $200 to get the Xbox One X.
Pretty much.
Stupid.
I've played on a 4K TV. You're not going to notice the difference right now anyways, because like you said, most of the games are not even in 4K.
Yeah, and some of the ones that they say are in 4K are just upscaling.
Hey, that was Xbox 360 the whole fucking time for HD.
Yeah, no kidding.
People didn't realize that. It was like, Xbox 360 is the better console. I'm like, yeah, is that why they have to upscale their graphics?
Yeah, it was 720 upscaled to 1080. I remember huge arguments about that shit too.
Like, it doesn't upscale.
And like anytime a game came out on cross-platform, they had to be like, "Oh, is it actually 1080?"
Yeah, and Xbox friends, of course it is. I'm like, no, it's not. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad. That's the one thing I'm glad about this current generation is we don't have to have that argument anymore.
Cut out again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just glad we don't have to have that argument anymore with consoles.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty much the same.
Pretty much. I do know the new Shadow of the Colossus remake, I think, is going to have native 4K. So, like, all their art assets and stuff are 4K. So, really pretty.
Yeah, well, I'll point out, Shadow of the Colossus is basically is an art piece in the form of a video game. Yeah, it's a fun game. The game mechanics are fun, but the main point of that is the interactivity. It's essentially an intermediate art project as far as I'm concerned. A really good one, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little scared because this is a true remake. On the PS3, they remastered it into HD graphics, whatever. But in this one, it's completely remade, and so they're going to have to redevelop like a physics engine and everything. So I'm a little scared that it's not going to be the same. Or it's not going to feel right. It's kind of like how, with Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 4, which was supposed to be, they're like, hey, look, we can still make 2D Sonic games. Because it was in 2.5D, they had to make a new engine, and it didn't quite feel like the Genesis games, and people were like, man, this feels off, this isn't fun.
You mean like
I'm scared the same kind of thing will happen to Shadow of the Colossus.
Probably, because like I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, the same thing happened to Halo. When Bungie left Halo to go make Destiny, essentially, when they came out with Halo 4, it just didn't feel the same. They changed the controls. Some of the mechanics were different. The physics was a little off. Compared it to the last 3 Halos, and it was a little weird. So that's what you get for having a whole new company continue your series.
Yeah.
Now we're on Halo 5, and what's up?
Because the one thing from Xbox at E3 that everyone was freaking out about is Anthem.
Yeah, I saw
from BioWare.
And I haven't had a chance to watch the trailer. I'll even talk.
I have zero fucks to get. Like, people are freaking out about it. I'm just like, man, I don't care. It's just another third-person shooter.
I
pretty environment.
Well, that's a nice thing.
Yeah. I mean, in general, I just can't stand third-person shooters, so I never got on board with like not God of War, Gears of War.
Okay, I love that series. So. Yeah. Gears of War is awesome.
I'm sure it is, but I just can't stand the gameplay, so I don't play them.
In all honesty, better storyline than Halo.
No, probably. That's what I've heard, at least. Anything else on this list, or do you think we should wrap this up?
I think that's basically it. It's basically the usual things, except, guys, another Need for Speed's coming out.
Gasp.
And also the usual NBA, Madden, FIFA 18, FIFA for Switch, FIFA for that.
Actually, that's actually kind of nice that they're making FIFA for the Switch, because it shows that they're actually getting third-party support.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's that, and Star Wars Battlefront 2, which does look kind of sweet considering it has Darth Maul in it. So.
I was told that it's actually going to have a single-player campaign.
You mean like they
may
promised?
Actually be worth the full price.
Don't get me wrong, I liked Star Wars Battlefront, the new one, but
yeah.
I was promised space battles, and I was promised a campaign.
Yeah. Well, now you may actually get it. Just fork out more money to EA.
But it's EA. What's to be expected,
What's to be expected is a season pass for DLC.
I'm just pointing out it's EA. That's their shtick is that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, remember when they were voted worst company in America? It's because of their DLC practices and shitty games.
I'm surprised they beat out. There's a lot of worse companies in the US than EA. Yeah. Like Comcast.
Yeah. I think they took it from them like the next year.
Comcast is the devil. I'm glad I live in Canada.
Because I think the year that EA won that was the year that they took, I think it was a Madden game, and when they released the next year's iteration, it was literally the exact same game with different names. Like, they didn't change anything except the names.
Not to be nitpicking over sports games, but that's kind of what sports games are.
Well, I know that like year after year, it's like it's still football. It's still all the same plays. It's still all the same teams. But I mean, they literally didn't change anything except the names. Like the opening cutscene is like the exact same thing.
Yeah, and like I get that. Like to me, sports games are essentially okay. It's the same. It's the same game. It's the same team. It's the same mechanics essentially and gameplay. Better graphics. And I know which one you're talking about. They didn't even change the graphics. They literally just added.
I think it was 08.
Yeah, they could have just done DLC if it was a thing back then and been like, yeah, guys, you don't even need to buy a new game. New ones just...
I mean, they could still do that.
Yeah, they do that.
It's like, here's your roster update.
But remember, they've been doing that for years, and like if you want to talk about a game they've been doing that for the longest time with, and nobody really seemed to give two flying shits, is Sims.
Yeah.
All the expansions.
Yeah. It's essentially DLC.
Well, okay.
Before
except
DLC
with The
was
Sims,
a thing.
When it came out, that was before DLC is a thing. I mean, since 06 sports games, we've had consoles that are capable of DLC.
I know. That's my point. Is that, you know, like this is a game that this is a company that pretty much runs off of selling extra content for their game, and they always have.
Yeah.
Hell, even Blizzard does shit like that, and nobody seems to give a flying two craps. So,
yeah.
Like, come on, we all bought the expansion packs to fucking World of Warcraft and Warcraft and Diablo 2 and
when I was thrifting, I found a sealed soundtrack for World of Warcraft.
Ooh, you should have got it.
I didn't, but you know what? It's still there.
How much?
I think their CDs are $2. That might be $3.
You see it again? Pick it up for me. I'll give you $2.
Okay, will do.
Honestly, I kind of miss playing World of Warcraft. I just do not have the fucking time for it anymore.
I can't stand it.
It's nostalgia for me.
Pretty much any MMO though.
I'm gonna point out it's nostalgia for me at this point. So,
yeah,
my character's level 90. I give a flying two shits after that.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Bye, bitches. Here's how I'll finish this up. Guess how I looked for the last 3 weeks? My first thing my dad said is, "You fucking look like a country bumpkin." When he saw me, I have
You look like a tomato.
I have a big long beard. I'm tanned and as like shit. Like I've been in a field for the last 3 weeks, which I have. I'm wearing a Pilsner brand Pilsner hat. I'm wearing a blue work t-shirt that's stained to fuck from dirt. Jeans and rubber boots. That's the first thing my dad saw. And at one point this last month, I went full country bumpkin. I had to cross a creek, and I forgot my rubber boots that day. So I took my shoes off. I rolled my jeans right up past the knee, really thick, backwards, like you see sometimes, right? On both sides, and I spent the rest of the day looking like that with my jeans rolled up, t-shirt, and a Pilsner brand Pilsner hat. Barefoot for the rest of the day.
Oh yeah, if people don't know, because I don't know if they have it in the States, Pilsner is a beer brand.
Okay, Pilsner is a type of beer, and in Canada, We have a company that was so fucking lazy that they name their company the same kind of beer they make. Pilsner brand Pilsner. Like, that's like naming your fucking company beer. Hey guys, we have beer brand beer.
Beer.
And it's pretty much the lifeblood of Saskatchewan.
There's a Pilsner board game that I found in Saskatchewan.
Think Guinness in Ireland, but instead of that, it's Pilsner in Saskatchewan. So, basically the same goddamn thing. It's a little weird. I look like a hick this whole fucking 3 weeks.
I'm Jukebox here. That was the PodcastTBD episode 19.
Yep, it's 19, guys. We're going to say goodbye now.
Yeah, both of you say goodbye.
Au revoir.
Fuck off. Just joking. Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Remember, if you liked what you heard today, please remember to subscribe and like the video. And if you would like to hear anything particular, don't forget to comment down below. Thank you and have a nice day.